These results right here shows how the Prem has been exposed tonight in the Champions League. And it is not just tonight, it is in these knockout games in the round of 16 first leg knockout games. It shows how the Prem has been exposed because Liverpool went to Turkey against Galatasaray, got nothing out of that game. Atletico Madrid, they whipped Spurs 5 goals to 2. Then Arsenal, a game which everyone expected them to win, well, they managed just to get a draw. Chelsea, they were whooped by PSG, and then Manchester City versus Real Madrid, where Real Madrid in this one emerged winners after a very good hat-trick from Federico Valverde. But there's only one right place to start. The place where there's the Champions League heritage, the team which won 15 Champions Leagues for a reason. It is not fluke, it is not luck. They are a very good team. And today the hero, well, it was the guy himself, Federico Valverde. The build up into this game, man, everything was pointing in a direction where it showed that Manchester City, or it hinted that Manchester City were going to win this game. In everyone's prediction, they were everyone's favorite. Well, Real Madrid have not been very good this season, especially defensively. Everybody was winning this game. Pep Guardiola against Alvaro Arbeloa. There's no way Real Madrid are going to win this one, especially the additions that Manchester City have added in January, the likes of McGahey, the likes of Semenyo, who will talk them, we'll talk about them later in the video, the likes of Erling Haaland, the likes of Ryan Shaki. This is firepower that Pep Guardiola has in his arsenal. If he was going to use them and deploy them correctly, he was definitely going to win this game against Real Madrid, although it was at the Santiago Bernabeu. And it seemed today everybody was viewing this well, the Champions League heritage for Real Madrid. It will go set the window, but I don't think today it is not even about the Champions League heritage, man. Real Madrid they were just compact at the back, and going forward, they were very fast in transition and very clinical in taking their chances. So, as I've said, tonight's headline, it is just one guy, and one name, and that gets Federico Valverde a hat-trick, a first half hat-trick, by the way. In the 20th minute, he grabs a goal, a very good goal, ball from over the top from Thibaut Courtois. Nico really finds himself in no man's land, and just like that, Donnarumma, he's nowhere to be seen. He just tries to clear the ball, follows Federico Valverde, and Federico Valverde with a very good finish 1-0 to Real Madrid, and the Bernabeu erupts. Then in the second goal, 27th minute, Federico Valverde again finds himself inside the box. He cuts in and he makes a very good shot across Donnarumma, across the face of the goal, and it is 2-0 to Real Madrid. Then the third goal, man. Things that expect the likes of Kylian Mbappe to do. And Kylian Mbappe was not say today. He was not available today, and Federico Valverde decided to do exactly that. All these goals today, the third goal was my favorite. Mark Guehi, what was you doing in that moment, man? For all the days that McGahey will be on this earth, this moment he'll be always remember. It will be just replaying in his head, man. He will live to tell this tales to children and grandchildren. Because what Federico Valverde did to him in that moment to score that third goal, it was just flawless Federico Valverde and peak magic, peak cinema in this Champions League, because Valverde gets the ball in the box and it's just like that. He controls the ball, a very good control, and he just dinks the ball past McGahey. McGahey tries to jump, but just like that, he cannot get it, man. That ball is over, and a very good finish from Federico Valverde to complete his hat-trick. And look, Fede Valverde is one of the most versatile players you can see in this pitch, man. He's one of the most versatile players in this pitch, and is one of the most versatile players in the world. He can almost play in every position. Well, let me show you something. This is when it was starting. Danny Carvajal, well, injuries. Today he came on in the third minute for Trent Alexander-Arnold. But Trent Alexander-Arnold and Danny Carvajal, they have not been available for most parts this season. And Federico Valverde was playing in this position. And when playing in this position, I think this season he has 12 assists. And most of these assists, they have come when he is playing in this fullback position. And today he was thrown into that midfield, the right-hand midfield, because they played a 4-4-2 formation. Brahim Diaz and Vinicius Jr., they were the guys at the top, who they were very instrumental and very key in giving troubles to Ruben Diaz and McGahey, by the way. But coming back to Federico Valverde, playing in the right back position, delivering goals and assists. Then playing in the midfield position, where a lot of people will say, well, it is his preferred position, because Federico Valverde coming into in the Real Madrid ranks, he has always been a midfielder, playing in that preferred position and providing a performance like that. It shows if Real Madrid will go on and get anything out of this Champions League, because in my opinion, I think this is over and Real Madrid are into the quarterfinals. If Real Madrid will get anything out of this Champions League this season, it is because of this guy, man. Captain, leader, delivering. This is one of those nights. This is one of those nights when Real Madrid win this competition. They will look back and say, look, if it was not for you, Fede, we could have not won this thing. And talking about guys who, if it was not there for them, they could have not won the whole thing. It is this guy here, Thibaut Courtois. You know, a goalkeeper is good when every year they bring another goalkeeper and they compare him to. It was Alisson Becker. They tried throwing David Raya into those conversations, and the guy who they have been recently comparing him to, he was on the other side of the goal, and that guy is Gianluigi Donnarumma against Thibaut Courtois. And guess who moved out of that pitch with the clean sheet? It was Thibaut Courtois. And you can make an argument, man. Manchester City might have scored a couple of goals, especially Pitak. There was a moment in this game where Thiago Pitak is trying to play from the back, and Nico Reilly just gets a hit of the ball, and Thibaut Courtois is there with a very good and fine save, man. Pitak had a good game, but in that moment, it was a howler moment from him right there. But well, the big guy, Thibaut Courtois, in the middle of the post, he made a brilliant save to keep the clean sheet, to make sure Real Madrid still have their 3-0 lead in the tie, and to make sure Pitak is not the reason why Real Madrid conceded today. And touching on the other Real Madrid players, Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold had a very good game today, playing 83 minutes. This, especially in the first half, Trent was very brilliant. Then Tony Rudiger against Erling Haaland. When will Erling Haaland get the best of Tony Rudiger, man? When will Erling Haaland get the best of Tony Rudiger? We'll talk about Erling Haaland, we're talking about Manchester City. But when will this guy get the best out of him? He has been injured for most parts of the season, Tony Rudiger, man. Erling Haaland has had injuries, but the way Erling Haaland started the season, I expected him to go in a game like this and dominate the likes of Tony Rudiger, and Vinicius also had a very good game, by the way. Ada Gula starting in that left midfield position, a very good game. Pitak, except from that howler moment where Thibaut Courtois made that very good save from Nico Reilly. He had a good game also. Doing Chouameni things. That game against Benfica in the playoff, I just said it. Chouameni is one of the best midfielders across Europe. He's one of the best midfielders, man. Then for Vinicius Jr. and Brahim Diaz, Vinicius Jr. should have scored that penalty. Vinicius Jr. should have scored that. Vinicius Jr. should have 100% have scored that penalty, man. He made a very good run. And Gigi Donnarumma brings him down inside the box, and Gigi Donnarumma gets a yellow card for that foul. But Gigi Donnarumma, in the same moment, he had a moment of redemption by saving that penalty. Then by Brahim Diaz, a very good game. He should also have gotten a goal. The fact that Real Madrid missed a penalty and missed a couple of chances, it shows that Manchester City today, they were not themselves. And on the side of Manchester City, man, let me look at their bench. These are the players who played. Matthias Nunes was on the bench. Why did he play Abdulkadir Kusanov as a right back? Pep Guardiola, I think he got it wrong just starting from his selection, man. Abdulkadir Kusanov as a right back. I think Nunes should have played in this role. Then, at the left back, get Ryan Entre in that one, man. And get Nico Reilly on the place where I've been thriving a lot this season. Nico Reilly has been playing some of his best football this season when he's playing in that midfield position. Get Nico Reilly in that midfield position, get Savinho out of this team, get Nunes in this team, and I think it will be in a very different game. But we have to talk about one guy, man. One guy, and that guy is Erling Haaland. Look at the touches in the game. 10 touches. 10 touches, and he played for how many minutes? I think it was 82 minutes. 82 minutes, and Erling Haaland had 10 touches. Look, I know I've been criticizing Erling Haaland for what he does best. We are saying, well, Erling Haaland, he does not offer anything in the game. He just scores goals. But today, he did not even offer that, man. He did not even score goals for Manchester City. And question needs to start being asked around Erling Haaland, especially in these big Champions League knockout games. There is a season where people are claiming, well, he has been robbed of the Ballon d'Or. He should have been the one who have won the Ballon d'Or. But in stages of the Champions League like this, he disappeared. And that is what really hurt his Ballon d'Or campaign this season. He can score goals in the Premier League, especially in the first leg. He can score goals in the, I think in that time is the group stages. He scored a lot of goals in the group stages, but when we get to the knockout of the Champions League, this guy disappears, especially in the big moments. In the Premier League, his resume against the Big Six is very good. But we want to see you scoring goals in the Champions League round of 16, quarters, semis, and even in the final when Manchester City make it to the final. Because let's be real, in this game, Erling Haaland did nothing. Did nothing in this game. A 5.7 rating, it is a very high rating for what Erling Haaland did in that game. It is very high. He was nowhere to be seen. Erling Haaland did nothing to help Manchester City offensively in this game. And I think questions need to start being raised, man. Questions need to start being raised for Erling Haaland. Then there are new signings. Maguire, Federico Valverde did to him, which will be a story for the next 30 years. And Semenyo, he was not very good by the way. And the only thing that I can tell them, welcome back to Champions League. Not welcome back, welcome to Champions League football. Maguire, that is their Champions League knockout game. Semenyo, that is a Champions League knockout game. Can Manchester City in any way create a miracle at the Etihad and call it we have the miracle of Istanbul where Liverpool beat AC Milan after they were 3 goals down. Can Manchester City create their miracle or well, we live to say that. But before I wrap up this game, Arvalo Abeloa, man. What he told these players in the dressing room before coming out, the way these Real Madrid players came for this game when they had that all that fire in their belly, you have to give them credit. But let's wrap that one and go to PSG against Chelsea. Look, and what I'll say about Chelsea today, they shot themselves in the feet. Chelsea Football Club today, you shot yourself in the feet because when Enzo Fernandez scored that very good goal, by the way, Enzo Fernandez scored that very good goal. Gusto sees Joe Pedro up and so well. PSG are vulnerable. Their fullbacks are very high in the pitch. Let me release Joe Pedro to the space and Enzo Fernandez gets that goal. When Chelsea scored that goal, it seemed that it was going in their favor, especially their away at Parc des Princes. What could go wrong? But that is where this guy with the 3.4 rating came in, man. That is where this guy with the 3.4 rating came in. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if it is instructions from the manager. Is Robert Sanchez on the bench for this one? I think Robert Sanchez should have definitely started this game. You can't start Jorgensen in this game, and I hate these keepers who, or rather coaches who are really obsessed with managers who can play from the back than keepers who can just keep the ball from going inside the net. I hate those kind of managers, man, because the shot stopping of Jorgensen and the shot stopping of Robert Sanchez, they are very different. And I'm saying this because Robert Sanchez shot stopping is very good compared to Jorgensen. But let's talk about the goals. A guy who I did not expect him scoring in this game, Bradley Bacola, opens the scoring a very good finish on the roof of the net, 1-0 to PSG. And Malo Gusto, which I think the PSG goalkeeper should have saved that one because he had his hands in that one, but well, Chelsea equalized in the game, but Ousmane Dembele, he finds himself with a very huge space to run. And that is when you see flawless Ousmane Dembele. He fools Marco Correa in that one. And Chaloba, because he gets the ball in his left foot and is pretending like he's going to shoot his left foot because, well, Ousmane Dembele, as you all know, he can shoot with both feet. He's very good with both feet. So he pretends like he's going to shoot his left foot. Then he gets the ball back to his right foot. He fools Kukurea, he fools Chaloba and fools the keeper Jorgensen, and 2-1-2 PSG. It goes to halftime, and we're thinking, well, Chelsea have not been playing very bad because Chelsea, in every moment that it seemed that they were going down, they found a way to get back into the game. And this time it was to Enzo Fernandez of a very good ball inside the box, and it was a very good finish from Enzo Fernandez. But that is when Jorgensen said, what? The game is not over. I have a gift for these guys. I have a gift for these guys. They try playing out from the back. I don't know why he was doing that. That is the reason I left Thibaut Courtois, because Thibaut Courtois does not have BS of playing from the back. Every time the ball on his feet and he does not see a player in the midfield or the defender can pass to, he just clears the ball. And that is what Jorgensen had to do, but he tries playing the ball from the back. PSG win it, and Vitinha just looks at him and he is off his line. He has made a wrong pass, and Vitinha just digs it the ball. He loops a ball over the top, and just like that, it is 3-1 to PSG. In the second minute, a guy who got an assist, he comes off, and Kivicha Varaskelia comes on. And since when Kivicha Varaskelia came on, his third goal, it was a very brilliant goal, man. That goal, it was a very brilliant goal, and I'm asking myself, how many players in the world or how many wingers in the world can score that type of goal? Lamine Yamal maybe can do that. Michael Olise maybe can do that. Well, that is La Liga presented, that is Bundesliga presented. In the Premier League, which actual wing? I'm talking about actual wingers. The Premier League wingers, the Fodens, the Sakas, the Mbumos, the Semenyos. I'm talking about the wingers, the Gordons. Which wing in the Premier League can do that? I don't think there's a wing in the Premier League who can do that, and that shows the quality difference between the Premier League and these leagues, man. Because let's just take a look at these players we're seeing on our screen, man. Hakimi, Mendes, who did not have one of his best games, but these are the best players in their position. Vitinha, top 3 in the Ballon d'Or last season. Ousmane Dembele, the Ballon d'Or holder. Doué scored a hat-trick in the Champions League final last season. Then look at the quality difference for the Chelsea side. Neto, Enzo Fernandez, Joe Pedro, Cole Palmer, a player who has a habit of disappearing in big games. Malo Gusto getting a goal today. Then look at these 3 musketeers right here. This Bermuda Triangle. It was just sucking gold. The way they say the Bermuda Triangle sucks ships when they go there, there'll be nowhere to be seen. It sucks the ships and it gets them to the bottom of the ocean. These 3 guys right here, they were just sucking goals, and allowing goals. But well, it will be very hard for Chelsea to get back into this one. Like I'm pressing you, I don't know what you'll do or what you'll tell your players to get back into this one. But you are definitely not getting back into this one. 5-2 against PSG. PSG have a 3-goal advantage. You'll need a miracle at the Stamford Bridge for you to win this one. Then Bodo Glimt, man. I did not watch this one, but Bodo Glimt have been I saw some tweets saying that Bodo Glimt may be a team which plays some of the best football in Europe. I don't know about that. Well, I will not try. Next week, I'll make sure I watch this Bodo Glimt against Sporting second leg, which will be played in Portugal. Then Arsenal against Bayer Leverkusen. It was a cagey game. It was not one of the best games for Arsenal, man. It was not one of the best games for Arsenal. And I think Arsenal have to step up their game if they want to get something out of this Champions League. Because if you're struggling against Bayer Leverkusen, that is not a very good sign, especially Bukayo Saka. Where is this guy? Saka was hooked in the 60th minute. In the 60th minute, this Arsenal attack is very bad, man. In the Champions League, the guy who has been providing some good performances for Arsenal, it is just Gabi Martinelli. But all these other guys, they're not very good. And I saw something in that game, man. The way this Arsenal centre back likes, man, handling the strikers. In this game where they just tried to manhandling Kofan and the referee was just giving it as a free kick. And they think the Premier League referee, they should learn from this one. Play football, don't manhandle people. Bukayo Saka, step up your game. Eberezer, step up your game. Victor Gyökeres, I've been saying this for a long time now. I don't think Victor Gyökeres is a very good striker for this football club. But let me know your thoughts, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section on what you think about these games. Well, Galatasaray are 1-0 up ahead against Liverpool, and next week they'll be going to Anfield. Bayern Munich against Atlanta, I think this tie is over. Atletico Madrid against Barcelona, against Tottenham Hotspur, excuse me. I also think this tie is over. Newcastle United against Barcelona. Newcastle United, they were just very unlucky conceding that last-minute penalty. Now they'll be going to Camp Nou. Can Newcastle get out of this one? Time will tell. Leverkusen against Arsenal. Leverkusen will be going at the Emirates, which I think Arsenal have the upper hand in this one. This one, I think it is pretty over. And Manchester City, for them to get something out of this one, they will need a miracle. So, All the English Premier League team, a team which looks that is likely to qualify. I think it is just Arsenal. One team out of how many teams? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of 5 teams in the Premier League, only one team might proceed to the next stage of the competition. They were talking about the Serie A was finished because in the last stage of the competition in the playoff, Inter Milan and Juventus left the tie. So let me know, guys. If 4 Premier League teams exit this tournament, will that mean that the Premier League is finished? Those are some of the conversations that we need to have, man. Because you can't go into quarterfinal with just one Premier League team, the best league in the world. But well, we are done for today, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. See you in the next video. Ciao.